I'm back with some more Bannerlord, and today we find ourselves in Middle-earth. We are simply a soldier of Gondor sworn to hold back the forces of evil. To the east we have Mordor. Their darkness is slowly spreading across the world, and we have to hold them back for as long as possible. We can't allow the Age of Men to fall. So we shall work our way up the ranks, building the greatest army, fighting side by side with the forces of good, and hopefully one day we can bring an end to this evil once and for all. But before we jump in and begin the new playthrough, I just want to give a quick update on war sales. The original plan was to do a brand new playthrough on the new DLC, but I've noticed since its release they've been releasing a patch every single day. So my plan for now is to wait until the frequency of the updates begins to slow down and the DLC is in a much better position. I don't want to jump in too early and run into bugs or anything like that. I want a true, authentic naval experience. So we're going to wait until all the updates are done and then we'll begin a new series in that. But until then, we find ourselves in Middle-earth. We are simply a soldier sworn to defend his homeland. If we check our inventory, we have basically nothing. We do have a knightly arming sword, but in terms of armor, we just have robes. In terms of boots, we have your standard leather boots. We don't have a lot of money, and we don't have any soldiers. So the first thing we must do, we must find other soldiers of Gondor who are willing to join us on our quest in defeating the evil. We must travel to all the villages across the land requesting aid from anyone who is willing to join us. There is a fountain guard at the local village. I'm not too sure what he's doing here, just hanging around, but he costs 1,000 gold and we only have 2,000. So I'm afraid we're just going to have to stick with the standard militia for now. As much as I would like a fountain guard to fight by my side, I don't think we can afford to splash half our funds on a single man. Well, this is not quite what I had in mind when I said we needed to put a stop to the forces of evil. We find ourselves in a battle against a bunch of criminals. These aren't the Orcs of Mordor, but anyone who would cause harm to the kingdom of Gondor must be stopped. I don't know how long it'll take, and I don't know how we're going to pull it off either, but this will be the army that takes down Sauron. We have an army of militia. We do have one cavalry on the side. I could send the cavalry in to charge right now, but I don't want to risk losing them this early on. Alright, stand your ground, men. Fighters won. The looters are going to start throwing rocks at us, but do not fear. Do not break formation. And now, we shall send the cavalry in to charge. And we shall hold position, men. Hang on a minute. Why is attacking the looters coming up as friendly fire? I assure you, men, I am not on the looters' side. Do not believe them. I am a soldier of Gondor. Infantry, charge, men. Eliminate the survivors. We cannot allow criminals to roam these lands. And the enemy are fleeing the battlefield. Gondor is victorious this day. However, we did lose 3 soldiers in the battle. Scouts have informed us that they have spotted Gandalf the Grey visiting Bag End. We don't know what he's up to, but why would he visit the hobbits? Our scouts now report that the Rangers of the North have confirmed sightings of hooded, shadowy figures stalking the Shire. Could this be related to Gandalf's visit? We have now received word that Saruman the White has sealed the gates of Isengard not long after Gandalf visited. I don't know what's going on in the west, but events are moving quickly. Something is going down, but we have to keep our attention to the east. I just hope that whatever's going on in the west doesn't head in our direction. It seems that we have stumbled upon another group of criminals lurking near our border. So we will soon put a stop to them. The army that will put a stop to Sauron is advancing. We now have 2 cavalry in the army, we have an archer, and even some of the infantry have shields now. I have completely changed my outfit. We now look like a criminal. I mean, I did loot them after all. It turns out the criminal gear was better than the robes I was stuck with. But the archer shall soon eliminate them. He did actually manage to take one of them down at least. And now they're throwing rocks at us. Cavalry, attack. Archer, what do you think you're doing, my friend? No, infantry, charge. Archer, pull back. My archer, no. What have you done? The criminals must pay. Stand as one, men. Stop splitting off from the main group. Work as a single unit. In the beginning, we were praising the bowman. We were talking about how his legendary skills would assist us in taking down the enemy. But due to my poor commander abilities, we have allowed him to fall in battle. I am sorry, my friend. I am sorry. It seems that we now have bigger threats in Gondor. Instead of your standard criminals, we have now run into a party of Haradrim raiders. We need to take down the enemy and ensure that we suffer as minimum casualties as possible. We have 3 archers in the army now. We have 3 cavalry and one of them is upgraded to a squire. And we have the infantry. We have about 5 soldiers with shields now. Can the archers eliminate any of the enemy before they reach our ranks? The enemies do have archers in the background, as you can see. Well then, cavalry, eliminate the enemy archers. Infantry, brace for impact. Our archers managed to eliminate 1 enemy before they hit our front lines. But it is the enemy archers that are proving to be a problem right now. I have suffered a significant amount of damage from their arrows. But we have eliminated the infantry. Men, charge. Eliminate the foe. An archer, get back in line. Why are you putting your life on the line, my friend? This time around, I made sure to put the archers in the back to ensure their safety. And yet they still decide to charge the enemy in close combat. And sadly, we have a few fallen soldiers, it seems. We lost 3 soldiers in that battle and they were all belonging to the militia. So it's not the biggest loss we've suffered, but it's still not ideal. Well, it turns out the Haradrim armor is basically better than mine in every single way, so now that we have looted the enemy, we look exactly like them. I guess we'll just have to pretend that we're trying to blend in, we're trying to throw the enemy off guard. They won't expect one of the Gondor soldiers to dress up as their own. But once we start building our funds and we can afford Gondor armor, we will then look like one of the soldiers. Well, this isn't ideal, we have just received some terrible news. Rohan has just informed us of bands of orc prowl in the Westfold, and Theoden is not putting a stop to them. I'm telling you, man, something is going on in the West. I don't know what yet, but it's clearly not good. The forces of evil are up to something. To make matters worse, along with the darkness looming to the east, we have now just been informed that Saruman the White has turned his back on the men of Middle-earth. There is now war in the West. Although we don't have a large army right now and we won't be much help to Gondor in our current state, we have to keep the enemies at bay. And there is an enemy hideout in our land. We must drive them out and eliminate this threat. I have the soldiers of Gondor by my side. We will not be defeated by some enemy raiders. We shall drive the Haradrim from our lands and save our people. We have managed to infiltrate the enemy camp. I don't know if that's because we attacked in the middle of the night, or whether it's because I'm dressed as one of them. Maybe the disguise paid off. I knew it was a good idea in taking their armor. The enemy didn't see the attack coming. And now we can eliminate them. Be gone, raider scum. The time has come to eliminate the leader of this group. We shall duel them one-on-one. No others will have to die in this battle, my friend. We shall fight to the death. I will not risk the lives of my men. And the foe has been defeated. The time has finally come where we are now a tier 1 clan. I have been running around these lands protecting the villagers from criminals and raiders, working our way up the ranks, and now that we are tier 1, we can now go to Denethor and ask to become a mercenary. It's not quite a Lord of Gondor just yet, but it's the closest opportunity we're gonna get at the moment to be able to serve our kingdom. Once we do finally get to clan tier 2, we will then ask to become a lord, but until then, I shall be a mercenary of Gondor. Denethor, the steward of Gondor, I wish to enter your service, my liege. Now that we are a mercenary of Gondor, we can see what enemies we have. To the east, we're at war with the Easterlings, and to the west, we're at war with Isengard. Mordor has yet to make its move, so we don't find ourselves in a war with them yet. But with the recent scout reports and the news we've been receiving, it's only a matter of time before the forces of evil make their move. If Saruman the White has already turned his back on the free people of Middle-earth, it's only a matter of time before Sauron launches his attack. But we shall be ready. We shall reinforce the army. We shall build up and prepare for war. We must head to all the nearby villages, recruiting anyone who is willing to stand up to the forces of evil. Well, we've come across some lads who are willing to join the war and fight for their country, but they come at quite the cost. I mean, if I was to recruit all of them right now, that would be 3,000 gold for 8 soldiers. Something I just cannot afford. I'm afraid for now we'll have to just take the militia. If I had more gold men, I would hire you. For I'm afraid we need to earn our wealth first. And so it begins. The fate of Middle-earth hangs in the balance. The black gates of Mordor have opened, and the orcs, trolls and fell beasts have marched. Sauron has unleashed his forces. We have found an army of wild men roaming the lands of Gondor. They found themselves in an awkward position. If we take a look at the entire army, they have 100 wounded soldiers, which is perfect for us because it means we can take them down and take them all prisoner. We've been defeating criminals and raiders all across the lands, but now that we find ourselves in a real war for Middle-earth, the men need to take it up a level. We need to eliminate the enemy forces. The enemies have positioned themselves on the high ground and they're refusing to break formation. I only have 6 archers in my army, so I don't know if that's enough to cause them to break formation and charge down the hill. The hope is that they will attack us and we will be waiting for them. I have the cavalry off to the side ready for their charge, but I fear we may have to advance on the enemy ourselves. Footmen, close the gap on the enemy. Archers, move closer. The closer we are, the better your aim, and hopefully we can force them to break formation. Cavalry, on the other hand, I require you to move to the left side. It's more open, and it'll be easier to flank the enemy. The enemy are refusing to break formation, so I flanked around the back with the archers, and hopefully now we should have an easier time eliminating them. This should cause them to break formation. As long as they're distracted by the infantry, we should be alright. Infantry, you may as well slowly engage the enemy. While the infantry slowly engages from the front, keeping their attention on them, the archers will fire from the side, and as soon as the enemy break formation, cavalry, charge! We shall eliminate the foe! The cavalry will run through them, hit them from the side, and now we move in to eliminate them. Hang on a minute. The wild men are made up of Gondor and Rohan forces? What is this? Our own people are turning against us. They have already given in to the enemy. How could they? How could you do this? The free people of Middle-earth have already given in to the forces of evil. How could you, men? How could you do this? In our time of need, you have turned your back on your own kind.
Everyone, charge!
The enemy are attempting to reform a new shield wall. Most of my infantry, I fear, has been eliminated. The only hope is that they are wounded and have not been killed. But the enemy have been defeated. It seems that we have lost 18 soldiers in that battle. As for our first battle, it's not ideal. We can't afford to suffer losses like that after every fight. We have just received word that the forces of Mordor have already laid siege to Osgiliath. We struggled in taking down a weakened Wildman army. I don't think we're going to be able to stop the forces of Mordor. If we take a look, what are we dealing with? There is an enemy army of 400 soldiers, but I can only assume reinforcements are on the way. There is a garrison of 400, so they may be able to stop the initial attack, but it's only a matter of time before Osgiliath could fall. Without reinforcements, I fear they won't be able to hold back the enemy for long. We could attempt to sneak past the attackers in order to aid the defenders, but we would lose 13 soldiers in doing so, and if the enemy decide to lay a long siege to Osgiliath, it is over for us. There is only 4 days worth of food before the garrison begins to starve, and if the garrison starves and we only have the militia to aid us, well, we'll be outnumbered 2 to 1, and it's just not gonna go well. What do we do in this scenario? Do we back off, rebuild the army and prepare for the inevitable war? Or do we break in and assist the defenders? I don't know if there's any more reinforcements lurking in the darkness, but if Mordor is anything to go by, there's probably thousands of them waiting to strike. But I'm afraid that's all we're going to have time for now. Join me next time as we attempt to hold back the forces of evil. Can we defeat Mordor, or will the free people of Middle-earth fall to this evil? As mentioned in the beginning of the video, this will probably be my next playthrough, and then after this one, we'll probably look into moving on to War Sales. At that point, it should have had enough updates and it should be in a good position where we should be able to enjoy the DLC for what it is. But if you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, and until next time, see ya.